But where do we currently stand? I mean, Game of Chains is going live on Monday, you said, November 7th. How long is it running? I saw on Twitter
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Approximately 4 weeks. Yeah.
And then after that, I guess there's a little feedback and potentially final refining. And then are we already ready to launch, or what's the game plan?
Yeah, we're trying to launch in January. So yeah, right now we have we basically have a version of Interchain security that's running on. We essentially have the current version of the Cosmos Hub with Interchain security in it, and that is that's what's going to be tested in Game of Chains. And it's there may be further modifications after Game of Chains, but essentially it's pretty much done, and we're going to be testing it out and then hopefully launching with that. So yeah, there's a few features that we're still we might even do. I'm not sure about Zudit, but like you have to. We were talking about this yesterday. We could maybe do even an upgrade during Game of Chains, because that's probably the upgrade process in and of itself is probably something we want to test. But in any case, there's two more things that we'll need to get in that are not in right now, and one of those is key delegation. So that's the validators can use different keys on different chains, which allows for much more sort of more safety, I guess, because they don't have to use just good OPSEC, basically not using the same key. And then there's also a circuit breaker that we're still working on, which basically makes it so that if a consumer chain, like we were talking about this downtime slashing, right? So if you have a malicious consumer chain, they could like slash like every validator at once and kind of take over the validator set, right? And that we're supposed to check the binary to make sure it doesn't do that. And we will obviously, the team at Informal and other organizations will be checking for the first few consumer chains. We'll be checking them very carefully, but we want to get, like I said, we want to get to a point where it's more like worry-free and you kind of launch something and just, don't run if it's not profitable, but it's not like a big security thing. So one of those parts of that is the circuit breaker we're adding, which makes it so that a consumer chain can't slash like all the validators at once. So if they start slashing a lot of validators, that gets slowed down and stopped. So people can, figure out what's going on with that.
And then what is the launch or basically rollout of IBC when it's going to go live in January? Do we have an on-chain proposal that would say, hey, there's a major upgrade coming, ICF is coming to the mainnet of the Cosmos Hub, and then after that, I guess the projects like Neutron, which we already know is one of them, or Stride, they also announced that, or Circle that are building their asset issuance chain with also USDC coming to the Cosmos Hub natively. Would that mean that all of these zones individually make on-chain proposals, like all at the same time, like as launching partners, or how does that work?
We'll probably space it out a little bit more. I think that, I think we should be able to do that. For sure, we're going to want to have like there only be one at first to let people get acclimated. And I can't say right now which one of those it'll be, but we'll certainly space it out a little bit, but we'll get through the list of projects that are waiting pretty quickly and with increasing speed as people get more used to it.
The first thing would be an upgrade proposal to upgrade to the ICS stack.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then following that will be all the consumer chain proposals.
Is there any alpha leaks that you guys can share in terms of other chains, other projects that want to launch or use Interchain security at launch?
There's one that's very exciting. I don't know if they've officially launched though, so I don't know if I'm allowed to leak it. But there's one that I'm very excited about.
Oh, yeah. We only have 60 people watching. It's not like crypto Twitter. It's just
I have to ask Yelena. I have to ask Yelena. I don't think I think they want to coordinate it somehow. But yeah, I guess I should have asked them before the show.
Well, you can drop her a message in the group and see if she responds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we got a lot of big projects already lined up, right? Like Stride that is doing liquid staking, obviously that's already live. We've got Neutron, which is a Cosmos smart contract chain that also does want to bring on Lido as a liquid staking solution. Then we have the USDC project or USDC issuance from Circle. There's a couple that have already been announced that I'm really exciting, I guess.
Yeah.
Another one, it's not going to be at launch, but one thing that we've been, me and Udit, and actually Jake from DAO have been talking about recently is actually the idea of having a consumer chain with DAO on it, which will function as the Atom 2.0 or at Atom 1.0 or whatever. There's a lot of new governance sort of. Yeah, whatever it ends up being, and yeah, whatever. All these proposals, they all have these new governance mechanisms that they want to put into place, and so we're looking at having a consumer chain that's got DAO on it, which will be like part of the new sort of governance system for the hub, and also even looking at having consumer chain with Canolang on it. So yeah, I think there's a lot of really interesting things we can do.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I think some of the new features proposed in the white paper too, I think they could all be on consumer chains. So you can expect a lot of consumer chains in the future with hub specific features.
Yeah, but right now we also have a long kind of list. We have a list of external projects that want consumer chains, and we basically, given that we don't want to drop them all at once, we do have kind of a backlog to work through all those proposals to get those up. So yeah.
So how many, can you say like a rough number, like how many projects have reached out, say, hey, I want to explore this ICS thing on Cosmos?
I mean, I think in terms of projects that reached out, I'm sure very, very large number. I think there's like probably, I think there's about like, I'm totally like, this BD is not necessarily my thing. So maybe I'm totally misquoting this, but I think it's like maybe around 16 sort of that are actively kind of in the funnel, I guess. And then I think we have about like 7 who are pretty much confirmed, and we got to get them into the rotation.
Yeah.